Don't know what to draw? Here are 3 simple ways to fill a blank page, whether you're starting a new sketchbook or trying to finish an old one. And one of them is inspired by a trick I picked up from another artist here on YouTube. The first sketchbook exercise, and one of the easiest ones to do, is to simply fill your page with color. It could be watercolor swatches, marker, color pencil, any art supply. This helps you immediately get over the blank page. Don't think too much about this step, just allow the color to flow. Then draw on top of it with a black pen or something dark enough to create enough contrast. You can create really interesting compositions depending on how you choose your color palette or layer your drawings. This is actually inspired by a YouTuber named Sophie McPike, and she calls this pre-blobbinating. I definitely recommend checking out her channel to see how she does this. She's amazing at adding vibrant color to her sketchbook drawings. Plus, that's just a really unique term I've never heard before. Here I have a couple of examples. For this first one, I used Tombow markers to fill in the background. I limited myself to 5 colors to keep a somewhat cohesive color palette. And then I used a Japanese brush pen to create these drawings on top. And when you're done, you can see how it creates a fun composition with all this random color and the drawings on top. For this spread, I used Posca paint markers to create the color backgrounds. For this one on the left, I used a gold metallic Posca marker with a thick, broad tipped pen. Now I like creating this kind of texture, so I was really loose with how I laid the pen on the paper, but you could layer it more if you wanted it to be a completely solid color of metallic gold on the background. And then for this page, I tried to create a gradient between these 2 neon Posca markers. These also have a broad tip, but it's much smaller in comparison, and there's a little bit of an angle. If you look closely, you can see the strokes of the marker. I happen to like how that adds texture, but if that's something you don't like, then you could continue to layer on each stroke and get a more consistent, solid background color. The second sketchbook exercise is to pick a theme or a subject or an object that you like and fill the page with it. I chose the broad topic of communication, which made me think about telephones and how the design of these objects has changed over the years. So I searched for a few reference photos online to create all of the drawings on this page. You can of course use whichever art supply you would like. Here I'm using the Lamy Safari fountain pen because I wanted to keep it simple and unified with the same art supply. But you could mix it up and add color or other textures. I love creating sketchbook pages like this because when you're done, it looks like a nice cohesive collection of drawings. The third sketchbook exercise is to take something you like and recreate it. This can be a drawing style from an artist you admire, maybe another graphic novel artist. It could be a book cover, a movie poster, anything. And there's 2 ways you can do this. You can either try to copy it as a way to learn how the artist created it, or you can reinterpret it in a new way, for example, by using a different art supply medium. For my example, I was really inspired by the graphic novel Allison by Lizzie Stewart. I love her drawing style, and I wanted to try to recreate this scene in particular of someone browsing outside of a bookstore. I tried to recreate it in a similar style. I used a fountain pen for the line work, and then I used a light and medium gray Faber-Castell brush pen to create the shadows. Which one of these sketchbook exercises did you find the most helpful, or that you're excited to try out first? What are some of your tips for how you fill your sketchbook? I'd love to hear about it in the comments below. And if you want to see more sketchbook related videos, check out this one next where I give you 12 different ideas for how to fill your sketchbook.